Welcome, everyone, to the show today. We are having a special episode because we are at the Inner Circle Mastermind first live event in Orlando, Florida. Give it up, girls. Woo! And it's super exciting and energized and jazzed. And today it's been an amazing conclusion of our mastermind process. And we had a theme, and I thought the theme was really poignant for everybody who's out there. So if you're listening to the show and you're in a place where you know you're not living out your full self, you're not being who you really are, you're wanting more, you're feeling stuck, stagnant, your body is telling you that you're contracted, and you're looking for well, what's that thing to get me to the next level? We came up with today's topic, which is the power of the V. Okay, the power of the V. Now, for some of you, you may think, what does that mean? And it does mean several things. So as you can imagine, we'll just put it right out there right away. The V stands for vagina. First and foremost, because of Stephanie, quite honestly. Stephanie today, and Stephanie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And tell everybody a little bit about you.
Well, I live in Orlando, and I just joined the mastermind in January of this year, and I'm here because I needed support so that I could realize my vision of my business, which is Hormonista.com.
And what is it that Hormonista does?
Well, I'm passionate about helping women who are suffering from perimenopause and menopause symptoms. I simplify the topic of bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, offer support and helpful resources for relief.
Okay, now minus your notes because we all know you're reading. Even those on the show. So let's talk about the V and the power of the V. What else did we talk about this weekend that was so amazing and poignant that got us to the you had your V arms up like a cheerleader. You're like, it's the power of the V. Talk about that.
Just because women are very powerful, and all of us being here together in this mastermind is just a very powerful thing. We're supporting each other. We're having fun. Okay, because we're all women, we're powerful women. We are here to support each other. We're here to grow ourselves. We're here to connect and learn. And we have vaginas. So there you go, power of the V.
One of the things that came up for me this weekend was the idea that a lot of women aren't accessing their feminine power in a bigger, more connected way to source energy, God, a power greater than ourselves. We shut it off because we have shame, we get hurt, we shut down that part of ourselves. We have insecurities about things, and we shrink. And so when we named the power of the V, it came up in so many different ways. So for instance, like a funnel. We talked a lot this weekend about funnels and seeing how people can create an income stream and get people into their ecosystem, into their communities by building in the business world what's called a funnel. And a funnel can be an online funnel. It can be something you do in your community. It's just a way for you to connect with like-minded people. We also talked about the V in terms of source energy, in terms of channeling and being in alignment. And every one of you that listen to this show know that when I talk about law of attraction, we talk about source energy. It's all about being in alignment. And that alignment is, again, channeling energy, literally bringing it into your body from that which is bigger than you, that which you connect to. And it can even just be the sun. You can just think about the sun and the sunbeam and bring it into your body as energy, and then how we use that energy. We also talked about simplifying and how so many people get really wrapped up in the idea of business or what they're doing in their life. And so people think it's more complicated than it needs to be in the beginning when it comes to what are you passionate about? This weekend I've been thinking about how a lot of people chase money, and I've said this from the beginning about my mastermind and how I work with people, because I've done that, and chasing money never is fulfilling, and there's always a problem, there's a breakdown. But when you chase your passion and alignment, the money will be obvious where to get it from, and it will come from ways you don't even think about, and it'll be in alignment, and it won't be hard, and it won't be a struggle, and selling won't be an issue because you're literally doing what you're supposed to be doing that's in alignment with who you are and what you want to share with the world. And again, it's like a no-brainer, but so many of us are so afraid to put that out there. Right? We're so afraid to stand up and be who we are because we're afraid of criticism or afraid of not doing it right or whatever your issues may be. So between the funnel, source energy, simplifying your message, simplifying your focal point, and then of course harnessing the power within us is why today's show is called The Power of V. So it was inspired by all these ladies, and I want you to know who they are because you're going to watch for them. You're going to go to jjflizanes.com/support so you can learn more about them. You can get connected with them. You can buy from them. You can refer to them, you can learn from them, you can be inspired by them. So I want to start off by bringing back some of our members who are repeat members, like Dee and Dee's story. And you've heard Dee's story on the podcast before, but let's just get them caught up to date, Dee, in terms of what's going on for you now and why you're back and what'd you get out of this weekend?
Well, hi, JJ.
Hi, Dee.
I'm back. Just a little brief summary. I am Dee Arndt. I'm an artist from Georgia. And you know what's interesting is that last year, when we were together in Atlanta for the mastermind, I was in a completely different place. Of course, the pandemic was going on. The art festivals, the shows, the galleries, everything had been closed. And I was in a space where I wouldn't say I was panicking, but I was panicking. I was just kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? You know, and the mastermind for me at that time really energized me and got me thinking in a different direction, which caused me to really pivot. You know, I've been in the corporate world for 30 something years. I'm retired. I have an art background as far as college goes, but I never really did anything about it. So, when the pandemic hit, you know, I still wanted to create, but the opportunities in which to show and sell your work were just not there. And so I thought, how can I create, you know, something to help the artist in this environment that we're in? And so the Pretentious Collector was born, if you will, which basically was an art show curated in a private home back in September. It was our first show. I reached out to artists. They were really excited about it. They had been creating for months and months and months and had nowhere to show their work. So, you know, we had a huge success, and here I am doing it again.
And again and again and again. And it was super successful. How would you, like, let's talk about where you are now versus like what's next for you? What's new? What's coming? What are you on to now that people might not know about yet?
I'm expanding in the sense of helping the artist. Because, you know, it's one thing to sell your art, but it's another thing to market it. And, you know, we create, we're right-brain people. We spend a lot of time in the studio, but we're not real good at marketing. You know, at marketing and, you know, putting ourselves out there, you know. And for me, what's unique about my situation is the fact that I was in corporate sales and marketing for 30 years. So even though I am very right-brain, I am also very left-brain. So, you know, the project management, the analytics, just all of that kind of stuff really excites me, and I know it. So I saw an opportunity to be able to help the creatives with my 30 years of experience in marketing and sales.
Nothing better than teaching the thing that people in your community need the most. And whether it be from your experience, it doesn't matter where it comes from your experience, but you took like your past and you melded it with your future in terms of all the things that you're passionate about, and it gave you balance. Right. And for those of you that follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, please follow me on Instagram. I have posted so many pictures of Dee's art that I have hanging in my house. It is beautiful and gorgeous. And not only Dee's art, but she curates all this amazing art. Last year, they sold 100 pieces of art, right? Mm-hmm. Online and in person.
Pushing $40,000
in sales during the pandemic for artists. So you'll learn more about her. I mean, we'll talk about her again. She's going to be back on the show later this year. But definitely go to jjflazanes.com/support if you're either an artist or someone looking for art. So that way you can get in touch with Dee, because she is magnificent. And I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
And I'll just say one note, because she, I don't know if you guys remember years ago, when I started this journey of Mastermind, I thought, I don't know, let's see how it works. And I did a 6-month, because you heard about it on the show.
I sure did.
And you signed up from the show. Now you heard about it, Crystal Weirich, from being in person with me and signing up. But Dee was one of those, a listener like all of you, who thought, I'm going to be involved in this. And she signed up, and she's been with me ever since. So I love you.
And has been very beneficial.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
But she comes kicking and screaming. I won't lie. Kicking and screaming, but it's good. So next we're going to move to Veronica.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Veronica Turner of naturesorcery.com, and I'm an herbalist, still learning, but practicing herbalism and promoting holistic health and empowering yourself to change your lifestyle and get away from pharmaceuticals.
Did I hear today that we're also maybe inching into another area that you haven't been willing to admit yet that we can sort of just acknowledge here on the show?
Yeah, I have a couple of podcasts in the brewing.
Literally.
Let's just say that. A couple of podcasts brewing.
I'm talking about the other thing, the spiritual journey that you've been on.
Oh, yes. So I've been learning a lot about myself and kind of realizing the light that I have to shine on other people, and learning what that means for me and growing that power for myself.
Yeah, look for Veronica. You're going to see her more, and you're going to see her in different ways. So in terms of from then until now, what do you think? Let's talk about the power of V. Any thoughts about anything that we talked about today in terms of the power of V and what you would, anyone who is where you are in terms of any advice or words of wisdom or encouragement you can give somebody? Because, while we're all in different places in our businesses, some people are just starting there, some people are just pivoting there, some people are, just giving things a try. But I know we've talked about in the past that while in one way you bit off more than you could chew, by joining the mastermind, as your Taurus moon says, that a lot of this wouldn't have gotten done necessarily without the accountability and the pressure, in a way, of other people watching you. So what would you say to some of those people?
Correct. So I felt I didn't have the confidence in myself to push myself. So joining the mastermind definitely pushed me into that area. From you and the group that I've been in for the second year, definitely gave me the confidence and empowerment to give myself that accountability.
Yeah, you've grown so much, and I know I can't wait to keep seeing what happens for you. And I know everybody else here agrees, even probably in the short time that those of you guys who just joined know. I mean, this weekend you've blossomed so much. You're coming into, like, you're allowing yourself to be seen.
Right.
More
and
and more.
grateful for all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So naturesorcery.com, but again, jjflazanes.com/support to check it out, but naturesorcery.com to find out more about Veronica.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you more.
I moved the mic away too fast. All right. She is not a stranger to the show. You've all heard her, seen her, heard all about her. Let's give it up for the Leo Moon, Taurus Sun, Crystal from HealingCrystal.com.
Crystal Wyrick in the house. No, it's so funny, D. Oh, D. I'm thinking of D. JJ. D's all like, hello, JJ. Well, how's that Atlanta accent? Hi, JJ. And then Veronica's like, hi, everyone. And I'm like, what's up, everyone? So, yeah, I'm kind of the crazy one of the crowd. But yes, again, Crystal Wyrick, Healing Crystal, CHRISTEL. Check me out. And again, as always, let JJ know if you think that me and JJ should have our own podcast together. It's been flowing in like crazy, but until I hit 12,000 email requests, and I'm at like 11,999. So make sure you email and let me know if we should do a podcast together.
Mm-hmm. So what do you have to say, Crystal, about you're doing a podcast with Veronica? Let's get the Witches Brew podcast going first. I'm announcing it. Sorry, anyone. They're going to do a Witches Brew podcast that you're all going to want to know about. Let's talk about the power of V. Crystal, what comes to mind for you with the power of V in terms of how you, with that, okay, besides sex, everyone, we're going to get dirty, everybody, and that's just part of the core, but it's also understanding, again, our women power. We shouldn't be embarrassed by it, and it's going to be, exclusive thing, and we got to get over talking about, we have vaginas, everybody, and it's, if that word makes you uncomfortable, you are not comfortable in your power. Sorry. Being a woman is right. And so and again, that's not shaming anybody. Just know that you have power within you, and you're the only one that can access it. And if you shut it down because you're uncomfortable with it, then you never thrive. And things happen in your life that you're going to, why can't I break out of this? And why can't I have more love in my life? And why can't I be more successful? And why doesn't anyone respect me? And why can't I find my voice? And why? And it's, again, this feminine power. And for those of you men that might still be listening. In the case that you're still listening, you know a woman, you have a mom, you might have a sister, you may have a wife, you may have a daughter, and cultivating this feminine power, and it's not even cultivating it because we already have it. It's tapping into it. It's allowing it. It's allowing it. It's accepting it, and it's sharing it in safe and productive and empowering and aligned ways, right? So now that I've just said all that, Crystal, what are you going to add about the power of the V?
Well, let me tell you, JJ, it's more about just the D and the V. We all love the D and the V. Okay,
everybody.
Please laugh. You're giving me a complex if you don't. But let me tell you a couple other V words that I love so much. Voluptuous. Okay, listen. Okay, this body is not what it was a few years ago, but my confidence is the highest it's ever been. I feel so much self-love for myself, more confidence. So just because my body is saying something different than what I am spilling out there, listen, big girls need love too. And I am finally like, yes, body, I love you. Now go ahead and trim down if you want. So, we got that. And the other V is for victory. You know what? And I stole that from Josh because, hey, Josh. But, with the 3-4 years that I've been with JJ and Josh here behind the scenes will tell you, and JJ, I just shrug shoulders and I'm like, oh, beating myself up. And now I just am much more empowered, and I just embrace everybody's differences and their opinions and new things that I can try, and the tools and everything that everyone here this weekend and throughout the past few years that have shared with me has made me into a more powerful woman. So it's truly a V victory for myself.
I love that. That was awesome and good for. So we've been joking this weekend, probably last time too, with Crystal, who we do the Big Leap worksheet and look at our upper limits, and that one put on her that she's her what is it, the zone of incompetence was public speaking, but I think she just killed it right now. Yeah, bullshit. That was a Erin bullshit.
I just had an out of body experience.
No, I think she just wanted more attention, so it worked.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yes.
Erin's calling bullshit on you. Okay, we are moving to Erin next. Erin and I have known each other since 2016-ish. It might be 2016.
Yep.
And I have to be honest, when you reached out and you were like, mastermind, you have a mastermind. I want to join. I was like, where were you fucking last year? I was like, but again, I know you were going through things and I didn't reach out to you. But when you were...
And honestly, I didn't know about it.
Man, I suck at marketing. All right.
Well, I just must not have heard it. And that's what was so cool about the timing, is because I was having success in my business, and so much of it is attributed to what I have learned from you in Law of Attraction and implementing that in my life, and the things that I've manifested in my personal life, in my health, and in my business. And so it's having success, but I really was like, I'm ready to go to the next level. And I know enough to know that I can only operate within where I'm at. So it's like, I need that help to the next level. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know in what capacity, but I just remember saying to myself, I need to work with JJ again. Like, one of the most influential people, like little things you said. I mean, I think we did maybe
5 sessions
mm-hmm. back then, but have religiously listened to your podcast and shared it and turned so many people onto it. But it was just like, all right. And I finished working with another coach, and I'm very big on coaching and the value of that to go to the next level. And so I was like, okay, I need to work with JJ again. And I told my boyfriend, I told my mom, and I didn't know in what capacity or what. And then I happened to listen to your podcast, and you're like, oh, the mastermind. I was like, well, there you go. And that's when I reached out to you. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that I needed to work with you, and you were talking about getting uncomfortable. And, and it was like, the thought of it makes me uncomfortable. It was a little above what I was in my mind thinking. but it also excited me that it was, because it was like, all right, this is an opportunity to get uncomfortable. And this is a new experience for me, getting uncomfortable, because normally it's like, make sure everything's perfect. It logically makes sense. It financially is sound. And I was like, okay, there's a lot that doesn't make sense, but I just knew that there was something in it for me. And I think even in the process of shortly after it, because there was so much going on, and at that time I was so overwhelmed by my business that the mastermind felt super overwhelming. And I felt like in order to get the value from it, I need to be taking advantage of everything. And you were like, this is all here, but you don't have, like, just because you have an idea doesn't mean you have to act on it. And as a Gemini, it's like I have to learn how to ground myself amongst all these ideas. And I just kind of thought, well, I just wanted to work with you in training and helping me get to the next level. And I didn't know if I really needed the whole group.
I'm glad you're bringing this up, because I was going to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's a very, very important part to it. I thought, well, I have a great community. I have other women around me supporting me. Like, it wasn't so much, I know some of the other women, the community was a big reason for joining the group. Me, I love your no bullshit. I love how you get straight to a problem. I love having someone push me to the next level to get uncomfortable. And that's what I so appreciate about you. Like, I don't want someone to sugarcoat it. I don't need the words of affirmation. I just need, like, are you ready to go to the next level? And are you ready to get to uncomfortable? So I was a little bit thinking that maybe it wasn't right. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to see what's there, and just came in with a heart of receiving. I mean, even this whole weekend, I just said, I'm going to come in open to receive what I'm supposed to get. And speaking of the V and the funnel, I mean, this whole weekend, I feel like it's taking all of these ideas, and for me, it's funneling it down into that V. But just sitting here, I almost was in tears earlier, because I was like, oh my God, to be in a room with all these women that are so like-minded and the same energy, and to connect, like, I just felt this immense gratitude of like, wow, I'm glad I didn't just do one-on-one sessions with JJ. Like, I would have missed out on all of this, and how much I've just appreciated connecting with you guys, feeding off of you, the energy, like.
So this weekend was good for you?
Yeah, it's all right.
It was all right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to tell that, because you did almost back out earlier in the year, and you got all like overwhelmed, and I was like, oh no, she can't leave. She doesn't know what she doesn't know yet. And sometimes I'd say 80% of the time I'm right about those things. I'm learning in the ways when I'm not, and it's my intuition that tells me in the beginning, and then I try to override it. But you're different, because again, for those of you that have a business, or for those of you that are thinking about starting a business, or you want to build a community like I have, right? There's a know, like, and trust factor to that. So one of the things that, that I've learned is that when you are, and especially for you, Erin, because I've known you for so long, and again, because we're going to move to Jennifer next. I'm just warning you, Jennifer, because it's about me trusting my intuition. So like, for those of you that are out there and you're wondering like, what do I do? And it's a head game. It's not a head game. It's a heart game. And there's a very clear bodily sensation when something is right and in alignment for you. And when you are too much in the head, and when you're too overwhelmed, you're in your head, you're not in your body, you're not in your heart, you're not centered. And so for me, like I said, when you, not again, because you were supposed to come to my first event and you got sick and changed your whole life. And, but I was like, oh, my Erin has to come. And then you didn't come. And then I kind of felt like there was a little distance. And then all of a sudden when you reached out, I was like, yes, Erin's like perfect person to be in this group.
I remember being like, I manifested you.
I know. I said, I manifested you.
I was like, yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So when you were like, oh, I don't know if it's right, I just really want to work with you. And I was like, oh my God, no, you have to come. But and so I love that I'm going to say I'm at 85, 75, 80%. Most of the time I'm pretty spot on, because I feel it. And I'm learning, and part of growth for any business is learning when you don't trust your gut, when you come from scarcity and you sell somebody something and you think, oh, I have this. And like the whole boundary setting thing, when that happens, and it's happened, then it bites you in the ass and you go, oh, because if I'm really honest with myself, I knew better, but I thought I could override that. So with you, would you say that obviously you made the right choice by staying and coming to this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. And I think what I loved about when I came to you saying, I don't know if I made the right choice, it wasn't a feeling of, oh gosh, it just was this the right lane for me to be in based on where I was at? And I even said to you, I'm totally open to, if you think I'm upper limiting, like, it didn't feel like it was from oh, I made the wrong decision. It was just, would this be more beneficial if it was this? And I think it was even an opportunity for you because it made you, there was something you were questioning in. So it just kind of felt like it was just a great dialogue of where I was at, and to be able to come to you and say, you know, what do you think and what aligns? And then you had, you know, it helped you realize what you don't want to do more, this or that.
Right. Well, I was clear. I thought it would be helpful for you, but I also didn't want to pressure you to stay if, you know, and I wanted you to experience this.
Right. And I think you also realizing the one-on-one, like your impact on a grander scale of just the like one-on-one sessions. And I think this weekend is proof of the power in the group of the V. All of the V's coming together in multiple forms and fashions.
Yep.
Is really where it's at.
Right. There are things that you got from this room I couldn't have given you.
Right.
Right. And so for you listening on the other side, whether it be a mastermind or mine, I don't care if it's mine. And if you're a woman and you need support, you need a place to be who you are. You need a place. That's why I've created all the things I've created. And it's fine if it doesn't resonate with you, but go find something that does, because there's a power to what's here. You need a tribe to be who you really are, to elevate you to the next level, and a place you can just be free and not have to worry about feeling weird or someone judging you or someone not getting you. And I'm not saying everybody gets everybody, but there's an acceptance, there's an allowing, right? There's an awareness of all these conversations. And so the group thing, not in all groups, but the group thing can be extremely powerful, because I mean, even when we get to Carrie Ann, who didn't know what we had one idea for her, and then at lunchtime, between lunch and her doing her share, literally came up with a brand new business that was the perfect thing. But she had to talk with Stephanie and Jennifer to get there. And again, that wouldn't have happened with just me, and that wouldn't have happened with just any coach either. Right? Like, it's not just about like me as a coach, it's like any coach, but it was like, it cultivated this divine, perfect timing, right? Of everything coalescing together to be present when this idea, and that's one of the beauties of a mastermind, is that done well, I mean, you don't have to try that hard. A bunch of people getting together to be a think tank creates another energy, and that energy has information for you if you're willing to receive it. I love you, and I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, me too.
Pass the mic to Jennifer. Because Jennifer had been listening. She started listening to nutrition alternative medicine a year and a half ago. Everyone's had a little bit of wine. So in case we sound a little bit goofy, which we should, by the way, it's okay, guys. You can laugh. You can the mic is not in front of your mouth, so you can. Don't feel like you have to be perfectly quiet. They know we're in a room together. So Jennifer had started working with me last year, maybe after the summer sometime. Her email said, I've been listening to you for a year and a half, and I think I'm ready. So I got to know Jennifer, but within the first couple of sessions, I was like, oh, she needs to be in my mastermind. She'd be great in this community. And I told Crystal, and Jennifer was driving to St. Louis, and Crystal lives in St. Louis. And so I said, here, you two need to meet up. I'm like, Crystal, work on her. Tell her she needs to be a mastermind. Because, and again, it's about an energy, right? It wasn't even like because you even asked me for business, but you did come saying, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So I knew there was an opportunity there for you to get on a different path. And again, no pressure, but I thought I'm going to lay out the opportunity, and you're the right fit where you are, and it'd be beneficial and blah, blah, blah. So Jennifer, tell everybody a little bit about you.
I don't even know where to start. There's so much that's gone on, but I have a real estate business with my husband, and I'm also a nurse. That I don't really practice that much anymore. And I started listening to JJ's podcast because I felt like there was something else. Like I wanted to do something else. I was always interested into alternative medicine and nutrition. So I found that I was looking for opportunities to take road trips by myself so I could binge all the podcasts, because I was enjoying all this information, all this like-minded community that I had never had any exposure to before. So I listened for a year and a half. I hang out, and I've learned after working with JJ that I tend to kind of recluse in my corner so I can gather information and not tell anybody about it. Not in the V.
But very Scorpio.
Yeah, very Scorpio. So I did. I finally got the guts to email her and say, hey, I think I want to work with you. If I would have had any clue the doors that have opened, it's mind-blowing. Shit, I'm gonna cry.
Go for it. Bring those tears. I'll cry too.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm not even a crier, but that's twice in like 2 hours.
It's the power of the V, girl.
Oh my God.
You're letting it flow. You know, when your heart is open, tears flow.
Yeah. So, just like Erin was saying, like JJ's somebody that just quickly gets to the point, and she may hit some stuff that's like super uncomfortable, and you're like, shit, I can't believe she just said that is me. Yeah, I am. How did I not know that before she told me this? But she's like, yeah, you need to put yourself out there. You need to, if you're interested in this, then we need to just stop hiding. Just go learn it. I wanted to go hide in the corner and learn about a certification in herbalism, and she's like, no, you need to just get out. So we finally stepped out into an uncomfortable position for me, and the doors that have opened as far as the people and the excitement of the community that I'm trying to reach has been like mind-blowing. And being here today in this circle of like-minded people in this mastermind group, if somebody would have told me 2 years ago, oh, you're going to be in a mastermind, you're going to be in Orlando hanging out with all these girls that are like-minded, I'd be like, what are you talking about? No, it's not. I'm not this person. Like, it feels good. It feels good to finally like just accept the fact that there's more out there that you want to do, and to step out of your comfort zone. I couldn't have done it without.
And I love you. But you said, you gave me a testimonial recently. I want you to talk about that, because you said, because I don't know if anybody here knows it, you said that you doing this work reminded you that you're not just a mom and a wife and a sister. You're your own person, and that person needs to shine in a different way, not attached to anybody else, right?
Yeah. I think you get lost. So like, if there's anybody out there listening where you get caught up in a career, or you get caught up in family and kids and always doing the right thing, like, you're still your own person. You're still an individual, and this group can give you that, even if you don't know what it is. I mean, Carrie Ann's in this group. She didn't even know what the hell she wanted to do. And at lunchtime today, she's like, bam, this is it, man. Like, this is what I want to do. And she didn't even know. It's just the like-mindedness, the openness, the opening yourself up to ideas, which I have been so closed off all my life for whatever reason. I could blame family or myself, upbringing, what have you. But just to open up and hear what everybody has to say. You think that, oh, I don't have commonalities with these people. You absolutely do. If you're listening to this, there's a commonality for sure. There's commonality.
Just tell them what you're doing. I'm going to go back and tell them what you're doing, Erin. Tell them, you don't have to give a website, because by the time this airs, the summit will be over, but let's just tell them what you're doing. You first, then we're going to go to Erin.
Oh.
No, you first. You first.
Erin, can you take care of this for me? So because of the interest with the holistic care and being interested in so many different things, and I think that's what turned me on to JJ, was like all these different people and things I'd never heard about, that I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I what is that? Muscle testing. What the hell is that? I got to learn this weekend. I was so excited about it. I'm like, I was just thinking of that 3 days ago.
You manifested it.
I did.
You totally
I
manifested
it right into this inner circle. But what was I saying? Oh, the summit. So I'm gonna have I'm telling you, it's so overwhelming. There's so much going on, but we decided to do a summit because I'm interested in this alternative healthcare and medicine in Eastern cultures and practices. We decided that I could learn and bring people with me instead of hiding. I will come out in the open. I will express the things that I'm interested in, and I will bring people with me to learn it with me together. And it's actually already led me someplace else. I know I'm going to have a summit in May. It's a 3-day summit. There's going to be a lot of information, a lot of different people out there speaking about all different kinds of things. And I've already made my next step into getting a certification in holistic health practitioner. So I'm excited. I have a plan. I have a focus.
Yeah, you can
clap. I'm
clap for her.
thrilled.
You can clap for it. So one of the messages I want to, the teaching lessons, I guess, with Jennifer's situation is that she trusted me enough that when I said, you're going to do this out loud, she just did it. Because part of the reason why a lot of you get stuck in all things, you, me, everybody, it's because we think we have to have it figured out before we start. We think we have to land on something. It has to look a certain way. It has to be a certain way. And then without it, it's like, but guys, this is a process. Everything is a process. And when you start with something, you just got to get the ball rolling and get some momentum going. And then Jennifer got her momentum going and boom, she's already know what she's doing next. But all of this is going to set her up, and it does have a purpose. And so there's a plan, there's a strategy. It all works together, but so many people get stopped because they're like, well, I don't know what I want to do. And again, that you can let that stop you, and that's okay. And sometimes it's going to take some time to figure that out. But the important part is if you just start doing something that's important to you, something you're interested in, you're just being curious, then it opens up, it unlocks the ability for you to receive more on different levels. And so I appreciate that you trusted me enough. I kind of strong armed you, but not that I could have made you do any of it, but I was like, nope, this is what you're going to do. And I do appreciate that you trusted me enough to do it, because when Doug hears your Marco Polo, he's like, man, she's an action taker. I was like, yes, she is. She's doing an awesome job. So go to jjflazanes.com/support to learn about what Jennifer's doing now. She's got so many holistic alternative medicine information for you and ways for you to help your life. And if you're a nurse, she's a nurse, so she has that background and she could communicate that information to you if you are looking for someone a little bit more less woo-woo than me. Although if you're still listening to this, you have a secret side that you don't want to admit to other people. But Erin, tell them about your business.
So I do branding and web design. So I help beauty, lifestyle, and wellness brands. I help them gain clarity. I help them develop clear messaging and attract more dream clients with beautiful and cohesive design.
And you're going to be teaching people how to get that brand to a new level on certain social media platforms, so people can really have a strategy to elevate the kinds of clients they attract, the money they can charge, right? Tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I help clients. You know, your online presence is such an attracting factor, and you have people who land on your different social media accounts and they're making an instant judgment of your business. And so I help clients to really get that vibe across of what their business is about, so that people want to work with them and that there's consistency, because once you have consistency, then people trust you and people buy from brands they trust. So I help them build that trust, brand awareness, and build their influence so that they increase their sales.
Tell them the name of your company.
Brand Junkie Creative. So my website's brandjunkiecreative.com, and Instagram, it's brand.junkie.creative.
And you'll find out more about Erin at jjflazanes.com/support. I'm going to hand the microphone to Tanya. And the reason is because Tanya has been to a past event of mine. In 2019, she came to Releasing What Weighs You Down. And when she reached out for this, and Tanya's a teacher. And so and she's in the inner circle, and she's been active during our keto stuff and during the 5-day fasting mimicking diet. I think you did that too, or maybe, okay. Right. And so she just, I think when you reached out about the mastermind, you were just sort of like, well, I don't know, I've been thinking about it. So tell us a little bit about you and that journey.
Yeah. I've been listening to JJ's release podcast for 3 years probably now. And I went to Releasing What Weighs Me Down, and that really kind of begun my new chapter of life that I'm on. And I'm a teacher and I love what I do. So I just, I do a ton of things in teaching that I'm really passionate about, but I don't really make a lot of money on. And I thought, how can I bring, my real passion is like giving back to the community. So after meeting with all these dynamic women, and I told JJ when I was like interviewing to do the mastermind, I'm like, I love working with you. I love what you do, and I love what you say, and I've grown so much as a person from 3 years ago to where I am today. But I have no idea what I'd want to do for a business. But I just want to go to the mastermind group because I just want to be around like cool women who and the community that they're in. And then I'll just figure it out when I get here. But always in the back of my mind, it's like I'm really passionate about, I love teaching. I love teenagers' voices. I love sustainability and environmental justice. And so I guess I'm more along the lines of like concepts and ideas. So when I was in the group the other day and we were talking, I just sort of like the telesummit stuff that Jennifer's doing, or the virtual stuff, is like really up my alley. I've done it before. I'm really comfortable in that realm. I love bringing people in the community together to talk about like sustainability or mental health or environmental justice. Those are areas that I feel comfortable in. And so when Jennifer was doing this summit, I was like, that's kind of what I want to do, and how can I do that? So in the when I got here and I'm around these like dynamic women with all this energy, and I guess like the V for me when I was thinking about that is like vibration. It's like that vibration energy, really, because tapping into that vibrational energy is really what's gotten me in today, right? Like we all have our like ups and downs. I'm going through divorce and I'm like, sometimes I have my downs and sometimes I have my ups. And so it's like, how can I like maintain that level of energy where I'm on the up? And being around a group like this, being around people who share the same passion as you do, but also that energy, like brings you to this upper like vibrational energy, and then you can just go from there. The conversations I've had with everybody here, every single person here has brought my vibrational energy up, and it's like it's just beautiful, and it's just inspiring. So anyway, I think I'm gonna like form a nonprofit, and I know it's like not necessarily exactly what everybody else is doing, and that's fine. That's just where it's okay. Like I almost didn't do it because I was so more in the nonprofit realm, but I was like, screw it. I'm just, I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to do that. So anyway, I'm going to form a nonprofit, and I'm going to be a consultant for that, and I'm going to bring like these topics that I think are really important: environmental justice, mental health, and I'm going to create like these ways where teens can have voices around that, and I'm gonna like allow those voices to be heard. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm just appreciative of manifesting like this energy with you guys and manifesting this idea. And I know I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna get the money, but it's okay, because I know that I can do it. I know what I'm doing is really important. That's the thing. Like every single time that you guys talked this weekend, I was like, what's your passion? And that's what I really love. Is like, what is every single person passionate about? As soon as you guys talk about your passion, your vibration goes up. And that's like what I want to do in the work that I do in nonprofit. So, and I want to do it with teenagers because they're awesome. And I love working with them, and they call out bullshit. And I love working with teenagers. So I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, and what you're doing, and there is money in that, and we will continue to strategize and put that together, right? But you lit up about that, and you wrote all those things down, and all things you want to share, all the different topics, and what you have is needed, and people want to hear about that. And it's not just going to be for teenagers, because people who are listening to this are also going to want to know what you're doing, because we all are interested in the things you talked about. Every other people in this room lit up when you were talking, because we're like, oh, cool, I want to learn that, I want to know that. So while the teenagers are going to get it, because you're their teacher, we need to open this up and allow others to experience it too. Right. So what would you say, was this weekend what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to your live event, so I kind of knew a little bit about how things would go. I think like...
So am I on brand? This is still like...
Yeah, you're totally on brand. No, I guess I knew like when I sort of was going into... I guess what I wasn't sure about it was like, I didn't think I was like had a product, or I didn't think that I... had a total like traditional business idea, I guess, you know what I mean? So I was a little unsure about that. When I spoke with you, I was just like, JJ, I really don't know what the business idea is. But sometimes when I wing it is when I best come up with my ideas. So I think just trusting that and having confidence in myself and being willing to go out of my comfort zone and trust in that. I've got all of that through listening to podcasts, and so, and being on that vibrational level and just riding that, I trusted that. But I had days where I felt like I didn't trust that, but then I just went with it. So yeah, it's what I expected it to be.
Okay. I'm on brand. That's good. Yeah. Good. And more. Are you feeling in alignment and excited about your
Yes, definitely
stuff?
Feel very excited and in alignment and like riding my vibrational energy.
I love that you joined for the community. I mean, not that, it's an investment either way, but it's like you are very clear, and not to mention all the things you're doing are still about community. Like you were like, I need a community, right? Like, I need a community around me.
Yeah, because I have community at home. Like I just thrive in community. So I have it at home. I have it where I work, but I also, this is a different type of community because it's really about like vibing on, the law of attraction stuff is really important. And we've all kind of had conversations around that. And so for me, I can speak that language with some people in my community, but not all people in my community get where that language is. So,
Yep.
but with this community, that it's happening all the time. So I guess that's where I meant with community. Yeah. Yeah.
So for anyone who's out there who's like, I don't know, I just need women power. I need more V in my life. And I have some ideas, you don't have to have it all solidified. So I think I'm going to Kelly next. So by this point, depending on when this podcast airs, you may or may not have heard Kelly. She will be on the show because I manifested Kelly, because those of you out there, especially in the inner circle, have been asking me for crystals. Can someone talk about crystals? Can someone talk about crystals? And I've literally gone to one person and another person. I'm like, no. And trust me, I need it. Like, I was like, man, but I treat this podcast like it's my church, and I'm not bringing anybody onto it who isn't vetted in my own energy. Like, I have to feel that connection, and I have to feel excited about it. Otherwise, I'm not going to share them with you. It's not. I'm not an interviewer. For those of you that are new to the show, I'm not an interviewer. So Kelly showed up, and she's like, I do crystals. And I'm like, yes, you're going to be in the mastermind, and you're going to be on the show. This is going to work out. And so Kelly, tell us about you, please.
Well, I also manifested this group of women. I needed a group of like-minded individuals so I could express who I was to the world and figure out how to do that. I have spent a great part of my life isolated because I am the woo-woo. I am so woo-woo. Crystals have been a giant influence in my vibrational ascension and have brought me to spirit and have brought me to source and have given me great access to earth energy. And I have listened to JJ all of last winter and took a break in the summer because I am exclusively a gardener. I've had a very busy job at gardening, and started listening again this winter. And within the first podcast, I started listening, and you mentioned the mastermind, and I said, this is what I need to do. And the day before, I had said, I am open to receive like-minded individuals in my life so I can start expressing who I am to the world and showcase who I am and give my gift. So literally the first podcast, I started listening again and contacted you, and within 24 hours, I think, we had a conversation, and you said, I want you. And I said, but you don't even know. I know what I'm talking about. You said, yes, I do. I manifested you.
I'm clear. I was clear. I don't need logic. I don't need reason. I don't need to be sold. I was like, I know when I know. Just sort of like so. And you did too. And you also had a little bit I don't know. I don't really have a lot of people around me that I feel safe or can be myself. So can you speak to this weekend a little bit?
Yes, every woman here that I've had a conversation with has been interested in what I have to say, and it resonates. And that's not something I have ever experienced, and it makes me feel absolutely incredible to be surrounded by open-minded individuals who are willing to receive the information that I have and curious about it. And it makes me vibrate so much higher. The source energy is literally exploding out of my hands. The entire time I've been here, I have never had so much vitality. I have never felt this way.
Another V.
Vitality, another V. Yeah. So was this what you expected or more?
Much more than I ever could have imagined. This is everything I ever would have dreamed, and then more. My angels and guides have brought me here, and this is what they have given me as a gift. I feel unbelievably blessed and so abundant in love, vitality, vibration, source energy. You have all just blown my mind. You're also amazing.
So let's talk about, you mentioned your angels and guides. Kelly's going to be teaching a class on how you can connect to your angels and guides. Tell them a little about your business.
Yeah, so I am a Reiki healer, and I would have also connection to the angel realms very easily and receive messages from spirit based on what my patient has going on in their energy field. So I can facilitate Reiki energy into the body, which is source energy, if it makes it easier to understand, to help facilitate your healing from trauma, past life and current life traumas, and help you understand it, process it, and get through it so you can then live in your full purpose and understand who you are as a being. And yeah.
And she does offer crystals that can be matched with what you need. And, so you want to have a session with her to explore what you need instead of just buy random things that you think are pretty and that you may or may not need. And that's the goal. That's sort of the point of having a session with Kelly, so she can identify that. But you can learn more about what she has to offer. Tell them your website first.
Yeah, it's letthemshinecrystals.com.
But you're going to learn more about what her current offerings are at jjflazanes.com/support, because we're here to support like-minded, high-vibrating women who want to change the world. And that's why we're doing today's show, to showcase these amazing, vital, high-vibrating, what else, V? What were your words? Victory, voluptuous women who that are changing the world, because we need more of that. So, Kelly, I love that you're here, and I appreciate that you trust me to force you to be here too. Because this is where selling becomes easy, because it's not about selling. It's not about the money. It's about that you have a need. I can provide the solution for that need. And if you have a block, I say, well, I'm going to call bullshit on that block, and you're going to do it anyway. And I think you're probably happy that I did. Deciding, I think I'm going to go to Michelle next, because Michelle, you've been listening to the podcast, I think maybe the longest, even over Aaron.
Like 6 years, I think.
Yeah, 6 years. So
it took me a while to come around.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm Michelle Langdon, and I have a business, Bloom Design Studio, BLUME, Bloom. And I design residential landscapes. So, yeah, and I've been doing that for about 3 years now, and I was ready to sort of pivot and figure out what my next steps were, which kind of brought me here.
And what did you think of the weekend?
It's been amazing. It's just, like Kelly was saying, it's just, I've never been around in a group like this, I've never been in a mastermind or anything like it, and it's just, the energy is just great. It's way more than I thought it would be. Much better. Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. What made you decide to, okay, you have a design business, and someone might think, well, but you're based in San Diego and you do things locally, and what made you want to join this mastermind, particularly not necessarily one that was local, that you could network with local people?
I think, just listening to you for as long as I have, and your approach to things is so holistic and about someone as an individual and their passion and doing that. But I mean, you take into account astrology and law of attraction and all these things that I find really interesting and intriguing. So that part of it for me was definitely a big draw.
When you came this weekend, you had in your mind you were going to talk about something, and you ended up talking about something completely different, right?
Yeah.
Did you say you made a major pivot today?
Yeah, I think I forgot what my passion was and why I got into what I'm doing now anyway. And I got into sort of business mode, and then, realized, that is not what I thought I would come away with this weekend. Yeah. And it was just during my hour up there,
Again, divine timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because we had a certain order, and then I changed the order. And then change order again. So if you ever come to one of my events and you think you want to know exactly what's happening, ain't gonna happen, right? Because it's all intuitive in the moment. I go with the flow. Whatever we need is what we do, and that's what that is. And so I had moved somebody to first, and I just kind of intuited where it would be best for people. And again, it all worked out, I think, perfectly for everybody to get what they needed at the right time. Anyone who lives in San Diego, tell them, did we mention your website?
I don't think so. BloomDesignStudio.com is my website. And then I'm at Dig Bloom, BLUME, on Facebook and Instagram too.
And Michelle's going to be doing something really exciting. You want to tell them a little about that? Just a little overview.
Oh, so do the summit part?
Well, and the content you're getting into that you weren't doing before.
Yeah, so I really, what I'm passionate about is environmental sustainability and that part of landscape design. So I want to get my contractor's license and have that be my specialty. So I'll have a niche within that field, So, and that for me is really exciting. So,
and she's going to be doing some DIY stuff. So, again, go to jjflazanes.com/support to learn more about what Michelle has for you and the interests that she has. And because I know a lot of you might want to do some DIY stuff that she's going to be sharing on a YouTube channel, as well as the environmental stuff. So between Tanya and Michelle, and maybe even Carrie Ann, we're going to change the planet. So thanks, Michelle. I'm really appreciative that you're here. Hey.
I'm back.
Hey, Hormonista.
Hey.
Fashionista.
Yeah.
V.
All that.
VV. So I want
that in
to.
a glass of wine.
You are all that in a glass of wine. So Stephanie's sort of one of those. You know how you say results vary, and no guarantees. No, hold on. Well, yeah. Because, you can say like in marketing, there's, what is it, Erin, like 8 to 10 touches for people before, like it depending on the kind of business you do. Sometimes it's more touch, sometimes it's less touch. Jennifer took 1.5 years to reach out. Michelle hasn't done anything with me until now. She went from, but 6 years of listening, right? And so Stephanie had listened to 2 podcasts and joined the executive level of the mastermind. 2 episodes. So not even probably like 2 days, probably like 1 day, 2 episodes, and then reached
It was
out.
a 24-hour time period where I listened to a couple of podcasts and said, I must do this.
Because she was ready.
I was ready,
the right
yeah.
place at the right time. It was divine timing. You were already going to join someone else's group, and you said to yourself,
No, I'll join JJ's group.
well, but why? Obviously, but why did you? But why didn't you join the other group?
I didn't join the other group because it was a lot of people and it was all virtual and it was random coaches. I would never have really connected with them the way I have the opportunity to connect with you, the way I am connecting with you and all of these beautiful ladies in this group. So it's more of a community feeling. Like it's more like a friendships now that we're developing and business partners and opportunities. It's just so awesome. And I would just have been lost. I would have been another person in their system with great content, I'm sure, but I wouldn't have the personal connections and I wouldn't be sitting in a living room in this gorgeous house in Orlando having this experience with all of you. So it's just a whole different vibe of what would have happened in that group and what's happening in this group, which is the best thing ever.
So is this more than you expected?
It's way more than I expected. It's been incredible. I can't stop smiling. I'm so happy to be here. This is the best thing ever, and I can't wait to do more of it. I wish there was more than 2 sessions that we would be having. I was talking to Tanya on our walk saying I wish there was something in between that we can go to like in the summertime. So maybe
your
we
VIP
can.
day. You can use your VIP day.
Yes.
Vacation.
Vacation. Maybe.
Crystal's adding another V word.
Yeah, maybe we can go to Vegas, do a girls' weekend, just to be together.
Work trip.
Yes.
I think Stephanie's V word is vroom. Like she was
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Yeah,
she is.
It's been the best decision that I've made, and I was definitely ready, and I manifested this shit. So yeah.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That was super exciting. That, again, you're like an anomaly in sometimes, but you represent the fact that it can happen when someone's really ready. When your message resonates with somebody who's ready to take action, be there. This is what marketing's about, right? And if you're not putting yourself out there, no one can fucking find you, everybody. And that goes for dating too, by the way. I'm just going to stick that one out there in case you want a relationship and you're not putting yourself out there. You're not just going to stumble upon the person. If you're not going, okay, sorry. Yes, there we have some inside jokes going on in this room, but I thought about that for that, because people may be like, well, I don't have a business, and maybe they've stopped listening by now. But it's not just about the business; it's about everywhere in life. If you're not showing up, the power of the V is about showing up and allowing yourself to be seen. No one can give you permission to be you, only you. Sorry, I'm gonna get on my horse for a second and cry because I normally don't have to record, but people are in front of me, so now I'm saying it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be so open. I'm gonna cry too, which I do. But so tell them. So you're gonna do Hormonista, and
Yes.
you'll learn more from Stephanie, and she's got some amazing things coming. So again, make sure to follow this link. Go to jjflizanes.com/support because Stephanie's gonna be the patient advocate for you women out there who are having all these damn symptoms, and you don't trust those doctors, and you don't understand, and it's google gargle crap that you're reading everywhere, and you want it to be simple because she's going to make it simple. She's going to make it simple. She'll make it powerful and easy to understand.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add to that? She's going to have your back.
Yes, I'm so excited and passionate about the subject of bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I feel like it's the fountain of youth. I feel like it can inject new energy and create a vibrant life. And you don't have to lose yourself while you age. You can totally choose this path and be all the women that you were meant to be and, do things like this, join masterminds and create a new chapter of your life. It doesn't have to end just because you go through menopause.
It's never too late to make a new tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, JJ.
And Stephanie's going to be back. You're going to hear her on the podcast later on this year. We're going to talk about all the wonderful things that she is doing in success. So I'm moving to Carrie Ann. So I have, there's this thing called like a deadline. And I had a deadline and it was called December 30th, I think it was. No, December 31st. Okay. And I think Carrie Ann was like, tell us that. I think I got your application on the 29th of December.
It might have been the 30th.
Joined on, right. It might have been the 30th and you joined on the 31st, like the dark hour. So let's talk about, introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself and what that was about.
Yes, so I'm Carrie Ann. I'm a real estate developer in my full-time job, and I work best under pressure. So, so deadlines really speak to me, and when I set deadlines, I meet them. And when JJ set a deadline for this mastermind, it worked.
Obviously, and you also before lunch today, I thought we were going to go down one path, and then lunch completely. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, so being a real estate developer, it's a high-stress job, lots of deadlines, and managing lots going on every day. And I thought I wanted to come into this group to find a new path and to figure out a way to generate income in a new way. And, I worked with JJ a little bit, and we started exploring what I like to do, which I like to be outside. I like to go hiking. I like to be in nature. And thought that I would want to create some sort of vacation retreats to have women join me on these trips I like to take. And being here this weekend and listening to everyone in the room and all the women in the room and what speaks to them and hearing them speak their truth. And there was just different pieces of everybody's conversation where it really pulled me closer to my truth and got lit up and excited about things. And I just knew that forget that idea. That's not it at all. It's been really great.
Yeah, at lunchtime, the three Scorpios sat down to talk about real estate. And that would be Jennifer, Carrie, and Stephanie. And it just and I sat next to them and it was exploding next to me. And they were talking about investing. And I was like, you need to be doing this, whatever this is that you're talking about. She's like, yeah, I guess I do, don't I? Because, and again, divine timing, had it been yesterday, had it been tomorrow, had it not been these people, had it not been this, right? You may not have gotten there because you were resistant. You wanted to do something different. Like when we first talked and came up with that idea, it was because you were tired.
Yes.
You wanted something different. You wanted to feel free and you wanted to go
Yes.
away and have fun and not that this can't be so much fun, but it's also in more alignment with many things.
Yeah, creating it the way that I want it to be. Having that vision, that another V.
Vision! Yay! All right, V!
And that clarity. In that moment and really just hearing myself and feeling it come out of me, I just knew that was the direction I needed to take it. So,
and how was this? Was this weekend what you thought it would be?
Much, much more. I came into this very open, not knowing what to expect at all. Only have spoken to these women on Zoom. They're just, they're real people. And it's been really fabulous getting to know everyone here. And it's been much more than what I could have ever wished for.
And again, the power of the group, power of the V, without Jennifer and Stephanie and then everyone's juices, turning and sharing and being, we may not have gotten here to your idea. We wouldn't have identified so quickly.
Yeah, so it was actually interesting. My session was after lunch, and I'm having this conversation at lunch. And when I was had notes going down a different path, and it was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just throwing that all at the window and going this direction. And, working through that with everyone here really is helping guide me to the next place.
Excellent. And how long have you listened to the show? I don't think I know.
2-ish years.
2-ish years?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Oh, I love all these V words. I'm going to need them for show notes. Do you have them all? Do you have
Power
more?
of the V.
Crystal has more.
Oh my God, that is the longest I've ever gone without talking. Okay. Finally, I had to share vision with you. Okay. So view. Oh my gosh. So speaking of Zoom, it's we're all on these Zoom meetings and it's so cool and it's so empowering. But when you get in person, it's just like a whole new feel. And then after that first event, everybody is just so much closer. The community is huge. You're connecting like crazy. The vibration is so high. So your view of everyone, is so high, and it's just like, and I'll just throw it out there. VIP, what up? Yo, VIP, let's kick it. So not only do Ice Baby,
Public speaking is definitely her. She's terrible at it. Very incompetent.
Yes. And vulnerability. I've having a lot of vulnerability. Yes. I've never had a microphone in my mouth. What's the V word for? Okay, we're done. I'm letting my voice be heard.
I can't wait to edit this with all those V's. I mean, there's a lot of V's. I mean, we didn't even really start off with V words. We just started out with what V meant. We only had 4: funnel, source energy, simplify, and power. And now we have all these V words. This is amazing. I love it. Power of the V. I'm making a shirt. D? Yes. We're making a shirt. Okay, we're making a shirt. All right, that we will sell at the boot camp. Anyway, so just anyone have any last, anything they want to say?
I vow.
Oh, my God. You vow to what?
To have some vodka, I guess.
You vow to honor the power of the V.
The power of the V.
The power of the V. It's a freaking shirt. We're doing it. Okay, so if you heard today's show and you're at the end of this and you want to support these women, you want to see what they're doing, you want them to inspire you, want to check them out, you want to work with them, you want to refer to them, you want to just be in this vibration, go to jjflazanes.com/support. Please support them, refer to them, check them out, follow them on all the platforms, and be ready to learn more about them as the year goes on. We just got started. This momentum has just started. And so if you're looking for some inspiration on how your life can change and you've resonated with any one of them, just keep following them because you're going to see some big things happening. So thanks for listening, and we will see you soon. Make sure to check out jjflazanes.com/support, and we're out.